I do believe that B2B has a place on YouTube. I mean, really one of the strongest methods for reaching B2B is content marketing. And let's face it, YouTube's the second biggest search engine in the world. So the reality is you need to be on YouTube. And I see more and more companies, B2B companies, really making a presence, not just showcasing their product or doing tutorials, like really, coming up with content that engages people.
Beth, thank you so much for being on Lead Tail TV. I'm really excited to be here.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be here and talk to you.
Well, good. I loved, doing research and figuring out what you guys are up to. Let's just dive right in. And
Sounds great.
So, yeah, good. All right. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about is your work at the company that helps create and helps other users create their own videos easily. I'm so excited about and have been for a long time about what you're up to at Animoto. It's just a really cool tool. There's clear value at what you guys do, and I'm curious what's the best way to market a product like that?
Oh, well, let me see. Video.
I threw you a softball on that one.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. Actually, yeah, video, like content marketing, video, it's obviously super important. We believe in video. Our entire team is using video. We're using our own tool. We see the value in it and want to make sure that we understand what our users are going through. So we take a lot of pride in being users of the product ourselves. So yeah, we want to help democratize video so that video is complicated, right? We want to make sure that no matter what your skill level, that you can come in and create a video. It's just as easy as drag and drop.
Granted, there's so much right now pushed behind video when you look at social media, when you look at the reels or video story-based stuff or YouTube or the list goes on, and how video has become and still is becoming the next phase of storytelling. What did you find out about what users and just people in general have a challenge with when creating video and how to solve that?
We regularly like to talk to our users. So I come from a product marketing background and always, we're continually, trying to be on the pulse, trying to take, user interviews. I watch a lot of full stories to try to understand what they're doing in the product, where they might be getting stuck. We do regular surveys with our users and in the market to really understand how other people are, even users outside of our user base are using video in these times.
And so you guys did a recent study that's fascinating on, a poll that you did with your users about how they're using video. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what you found and what you think that means for video content as a whole?
Yeah. We recently surveyed 400 small and medium-sized businesses and asked them a lot of questions, but really mainly like, how are they using video? How do they plan on using video in 2023? What are the most important things? What are their challenges? And one of the biggest findings is that not only are what we call external videos, like the marketing videos or sales videos or things that you're using on social to externally speak to your clients, what really surfaced were that internal videos among your company had really risen to the top. It was actually the number one use case that the users reported using video for. So these were things like internal training videos, onboarding, meeting recaps. And it really, when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense because, post-pandemic, the world has changed a lot. And so, there's a lot more people in remote workspaces or hybrid workspaces. And a lot of things that you used to do in person or in a meeting, now you do asynchronously. And, why spend all of those times in meetings when you can easily like share a video and show and tell really quickly.
One of the things that I love about what you guys are up to is speed, the speed to create. And I wonder if you could talk about that because, people are lacking time more and more. And with things like AI and machine learning and all these tools that are coming out, it's making it easier. How do you create with speed but still keep the same quality of what you want?
Yeah, this is something, I mean, you really nailed it. That's something we continually hear from our users. They want to, get to create a video quickly. They want to scale their video production, make videos faster. And there's a lot of tools that are coming out for AI, but they can help a lot of different things too. Even like I was using a tool the other day that was like an AI script writer. Ideas is a big challenge and a hurdle for people, and sometimes script writing is as well. But speed is something that we think a lot about. I know we have the fastest rendering processor that's out there, and we do a lot of real time. So people can see in real time as they make changes, real time changes, and see what's happening to the video within seconds. If you've ever sort of sat and worked at something and okay, well, let me go get a drink of water while I see, wait to see what's going to happen. We take a lot of pride in that. And it really like gives you that feedback almost immediately when you make a change. Back in the day, I remember, I don't know, like 10 or 15 years ago, like I would try to make a video and it would take 20 minutes to render.
Yeah. Oh, back when modems were screaming at us, yelling at us, telling us the internet is coming, and we didn't actually believe it. But here it is. I remember, a time, especially, and I know we were talking off camera about you being a past photographer, and how much that human connection, really matters. And when you look at now video. How do you think that human connection really can be driven through in a better way or a more quality way, and stand out?
Yeah. I mean, I think, again, post-pandemic, I hear from a lot of people, colleagues, but also friends, talking about the changes in the world and how we need more human connection. People are craving it right now. And video is a great way to create that human connection. Let your users, like your users or your clients or your customers, like see who you are and you're a real person. And it really makes a lot of difference. The other thing that's really great about it is, using video to show, don't just tell people, but you can use video to actually show people like how something works or show them what behind the scenes, the types of things that like engage them with your process, with, your brand and understanding what you're about. I know that people don't like to be on camera, like I'm one of those included, but it is really important to create that human connection with your customers, and video is a really great way to do that.
Well, you're speaking to my heart. The H to H here stands for human to human. And I believe wholeheartedly that, everything that we do in the world and technology is here to bring relationships closer together. And that brings up another question about, the internal versus external video at companies. There's different relationships on different levels. Do you think each lives in a bubble, or do you see the two influencing one another?
I actually think they do influence one another. For example, our team, we just released a feature that's screen and webcam. So you can actually record your screen at the same time that you're recording a webcam and talk over it like you would talk over a presentation or anything like that. So we've been using that a lot internally to share the work that we're doing. So people can get updated on Figma designs or, enhancements to the product or how it works. And so it's really interesting now to see my team, the marketing team, start to say like, this is really great. We can show our users in this way. So it started because we were using it internally before it was released. And my team got super excited to market it because they could really see the power in how how we could reach our own clients in that way. So I do think they influence one another, and they make it in some way easier, because internally you feel super comfortable with sort of being on camera and talking to one another. But it made people in our company, our team, let's say, that are not people that want to be on camera, say like, yeah, I can do this. Yeah, let's go.
I love that. And that's so many people. I'm sure you're not speaking for just one person. That was to many, many people who are feeling the same way. What do you think is like some of the best ways to interact and use the technology so that it really comes out the most authentic way possible, so that you can create something that really does, like what are some things that really creates an impact of that, the human essence, or ways that really will get across, so that, because a lot of times we only have 30 seconds or 60 seconds to do that. How do you impact somebody in that amount of time with using this technology?
Yeah, I mean, it is tough because, people these days, they're quick to, turn their eye. They don't have a long attention span, right? I do think, I mean, you've hit on it. We've talked about it. Like, number one, a human face comes up and they're interested in what they're talking about. So, trying to get someone on camera in the early part of the video. I've seen videos where the human interaction doesn't come 15 seconds in, and I think, oh, they're already gone. You've probably already lost a lot of people. The other thing I would say, related to that is people do want authenticity. And I think that what we talk about a lot, people are like, I need special equipment, or I need, XYZ to get started. It's not going to look professional enough. And it's like, that's not what really people are craving. They want authenticity, and it doesn't have to be polished or perfect. Out there is better than, sitting on your desk and not complete, or sitting on your phone and not complete, or sitting on your computer. So I think that's part of it. And I talk to my team a lot about that. It's like, let's not let perfection get in the way of progress, right? And so I think video is such a daunting thing for so many people that perfection oftentimes gets in the way of progress.
Amen. Yeah, yes, absolutely. I think that hits on so many different levels. Shifting gears a little bit, when people think of internet videos, they tend to jump straight to thinking about YouTube. Do you think B2B has a place on YouTube, or is there another platform they should look towards?
I do believe that B2B has a place on YouTube. I mean, really one of the strongest methods for reaching B2B is content marketing. And let's face it, YouTube's the second biggest search engine in the world. So the reality is you need to be on YouTube. And I see more and more companies, B2B companies, really making a presence, not just showcasing their product or doing tutorials, like really, coming up with content that engages people, that's even just thought leadership, or the types of things that people are talking about out in society right now. Again, I can't tell you how many of my colleagues, friends, and people spend hours on YouTube watching various things. And it's another way to, have a human connection with someone.
Yeah, including my kids. They learn everything there, I think, first, and school second. So, it's a driver of education on so many different levels. What kind of video do you think more B2B businesses should focus on in 2023 or beyond?
Ooh, hard to say about just one. I think video is part of your content marketing. So I think a lot of times when you're talking about B2B, it's a lot different than B2C video, right? B2C video is different. It's right to the end user. I think, when you think about video for that's B2B, you have to think a little like higher in the funnel. So more attracting people, creating that brand awareness when there's a readiness for that tool. And so to me, that's what I see as more successful. I mean, we're using video too as part of, for us, we have a pretty big content marketing strategy around SEO. And to me, if you're not using video for SEO, then you're not gonna win what I call the Google Cup. You got to play by the rules, and video is part of it, and they want to see it on that page. And it's a really important part of having that sort of mixed media and content on your pages to move up that SERP.
So is it the video itself or the transcript of the video or both? How does that work?
It's both, really. So, I mean, there are ways using schema markups to be able to be sort of in the video results. And those are things that you're looking for as well. But it also helps the entire page itself and where the page is in the SERP. So Google's looking for photo, video, and written content. They're looking for something that's, engaging and, they want to make sure that when someone comes off that page, they're engaging. And video is a great way to keep them on the page, right? And to start, increasing that dwell time as well. So there's a lot of different things about video that are great. And there are different ways to get in the SERP with video if you're using the schema markup and also using it as part of the content on the page. The other thing is you want to make sure too, like your back end is solid, make sure that you're naming your video files, and you're also giving that markup for Google to understand. Google doesn't know what's in your video. It only knows what you tell them. So having that transcript there, having that information that explains what that video is, and having even, in the file name, the what the video content is about is super important.
Wonderful. Yeah. You don't really think that. I'm so glad you spoke about that. I never really thought about video being in the SEO spectrum. And that's just my naive mind thinking, storytelling first and just kind of leaving it at that. But you're so right that it is such an important factor for Google, who owns like you mentioned, the number 1 and number 2 search engines in the world. So why wouldn't it be? Since that's what they're all about. And so, you just totally made me think on that one. If somebody were to get started with Animoto or, with the technology, what would you suggest be like the first or second things just to keep it simple and get started and do something to put it out into the world?
Yeah, I think that one thing is interesting. A lot of people already have content, right? Maybe they have blog posts, they have a web page, they have a story to tell, they know, what their product's about, they have product pages, all of these different things. They already have content that people somewhat engage with. Start with that. I mean, you already have the basis there. You know what you've told on your page or in your copy. You can easily translate that quickly to video. I think that's super easy. Again, what's been working for you from a static perspective or from just written content? It's really easy to start there. What we see a lot of people come in, a lot of times the first video they'll make is a product video. Tutorial is really great. How does my product work? We see them come in and create a lot of behind the scenes, so that people understand who they are as a company and what their beliefs are and what their values are. Like you said, it's storytelling, right? And you want people to buy into your story. And a lot of, what I used to speak to a lot of entrepreneurs, and I would say, like, they're not just buying your product, they're buying you. And they want to know more about your story and who you are, right? And so I think, it's easy to get started. And with Animoto too, it's just drag and drop simple. So one of the great things about Animoto is you can take a bunch of photos, like you can literally take product photos and then caption them and say, whatever the name of your product is, a short, brief description, and then you talk about your different product lines. And the great thing is the animations are built right in, so it gives it the motion. It turns static things into video. So you don't even need a true video to get started. And that's what I'm saying. Like everybody pretty much probably already has that. They have photos of their product. They have written descriptions of those things, and that's the easiest way to get started.
Okay, you're making me want to go back in and do more. So you got a customer of one here signing
Nice.
up again. So from I want to just hit you with a fun question to close this out and talk about a little bit about what I mentioned before, and what shows on your LinkedIn profile, which is that you were a professional photographer in a previous life. Do you still shoot? And if so, what's your favorite subject?
I still shoot a little bit. Not as much. I don't shoot a lot. But I still shoot a little bit. Mostly now I used to shoot people. I was a portrait photographer. I wasn't interested if a person wasn't in it. Because again, I wanted that human connection. I love the stories. I would talk to my subject because I wanted to get them at ease and I wanted to hear about them so I could decide how to portray them, right? I needed to know who they were. And also put them at ease so they felt comfortable in front of a camera. And so, I think today I still look at photography from a storytelling, even when I'm out in the city or I'm, on vacation, my photos still have people in them because I'm still looking for that story. So yeah, I don't shoot as much as I used to, obviously, but,
Well, that's all right. I'm with you. I used to be a probably not as focused a photographer, but if I could do something in my life, if I had to start over again, that would be the thing. I just absolutely love capturing humans as well, and I understand that. And you're speaking again yet directly to my heart. So we have a lot in common, and I have enjoyed this so much. Thank you so much for sharing with the Lead Till community and for sharing, the future of video and what it could be and how easy it could be. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. This has been super enjoyable for me as well. I do feel like we have a lot in common.
That's for sure. Well, thanks again.
Thank you.